Well, hello and welcome to SAFC Fan TV. It's been a while. We've just been saying there before we came on air. It's been a very quiet off-season, even for Sunderland. So just thought we'd jump on, as there's been a lot going on in recent weeks. Manager, news strips, and God knows what. So I thought we'd jump on, have a little bit of a discussion, a little bit of a chat, and just see what our thoughts are for the season ahead. Joining us on the show tonight, we've got Conrad. Conrad, how are you doing?
I'm not bad, mate. Yourself?
Not too bad. Trying to get back in the swing of these presenting these shows, but how's things been?
Yeah, it's been all right. I think the only thing me and Mike tried to do a few weeks ago, we recorded what we'll refer to as the lost episode, where we recorded a thing saying, there's no news, it's boring, what's going on? And literally about an hour before we uploaded it, they announced, there's a new manager imminent at that time, which was obviously a lie, just to stop us.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, just to stop us putting anything out, because we were like, oh, there's been news now, this just looks stupid. And then actually nothing happened for a few more weeks.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll touch on the word imminent during the show. It was been mentioned quite a few times. Also on the show tonight, we've got Emma. Emma's looking very pink in that new top you got on there. How are you doing?
I'm all right, Wayne. I'm all right. Getting there, a bit boring without anything Sunderland to talk about. But, watching England's like watching Sunderland week in, week out. So not missing much there, are we?
You're mention that shite, do you mean? Anyway, what's that top you got on? It looks very pink.
It's a Green Day top. So I went to see Green Day last Friday in Manchester, and I had obviously the normal T-shirts and stuff. I seen the football style one, and I thought, I've got to get the footy one. I couldn't not. It was worth the 80 quid I paid for it.
How much?
£80.
You're getting paid too much. That's right.
I wish I was.
To be honest, that's the price of most football shirts now. I think we're lucky that we're at 60 for our one.
You're right there. So you must be turning a bit of a group, yeah? You've been to take that twice and now Green Day, do you mean?
Hey, different dish to take that. You're forgetting I went to James Arthur and all day living the year.
Oh, dear. Well, I'll let you off with James Arthur. James Arthur's all right. And finally on the show, we've also got Mike, UK Urban Prepper. So, Mike, how are you doing?
Not so bad. I'm just wondering if I should get Em's job, because clearly she's getting paid a lot more than me. I've got to save up to go and watch the free band down at the pub. With regards to the lost episode, all you would have missed is me and Conrad sat there Googling things for about 45 minutes. So yeah, you go.
Pretty much any of our episodes, Mike.
That's it.
I won't give you secrets away.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, aye. So Emma's going to be looking after the comments. So Emma, is anybody in the comments yet? Or anybody in the chat?
We've got a couple of people. We've got SJ saying, "Woo would love the new strip. Can't wait to see the away shirt design." And Colin Major, "Hi lads, great to see you back."
Well, thank you very much, Colin. Thank you very much, SJ. So yes, don't forget you can get involved in the show and get your comments in the chat, and Emma will be reading them out at various stages throughout the program. So we might as well start with our new manager. As we've just been saying there, the word imminent was mentioned quite a few times. And that week when he was appointed was a bit mad. We went from Frank Lampard to Reggie Labrie. So Conrad, what was your thoughts initially when you thought we were going to get, the likes of Frank Lampard had been mentioned, and then a bit of a joke, wasn't it?
Well, I think in our group chat, I don't think I've ever been as animated. I was just like, not Frank Lampard. It's not happening. I will leave. I will pick another team until he goes. I think it's because I've invested too much time and effort into slagging him off and his managerial approach to then have our owners appoint him, and I have to live with him now. It's one of that. So I was kind of glad in the end when they said, oh, it's not him. But then it got to a point at the start of, was it end of last week, start of this one, where we still didn't have a manager, and went, oh, can we just actually get Lampard? Like, this is just getting ridiculous now. Let's just get somebody through the door, because it just feels like at the minute we're just being told no every single time. In terms of the actual boss, I mean, I'd never heard of him until he'd been appointed. We've had a look through and seen that he did all right in his first year, and then the board sold all his good players and didn't replace them, and he got relegated in the second. So, I mean, we know our model doesn't really like to invest in players, so I'm hoping we're not a second season syndrome with him. But we'll back him. We'll give him a go. In Labrie we trust, as Mike would say when a new manager comes in and gets all his signs up. So
my print is broken. My print is broken. I was just going to stick his head on Beale.
I got to recycle the old ones. Just recycle them.
Did you? Go on.
I'm just saying that this Labrie, he sort of came from nowhere, didn't he? You know, he was never mentioned until a couple of days before, and now, and that was said that the club had been in talks with him for 3 weeks and they're waiting for this work permit. You know, palaver. Do you believe that, or do you think it was just a smoke screen? Is he 6th or 7th choice after everybody had turned us down?
That's what I was going to say. He screams of he was the 6th choice on a 5-man list. That's what I'm sort of. That's what I've sort of taken from this here. And it probably shouldn't this, but the fact that the KLD and his family probably know him or know of him at least from France, and that's where they probably paid attention to him. It sort of screams a bit of, should we just get him? We might know him. You know, we'll have some links and we'll go and do that. I don't know. It felt like desperation by the end. Just couldn't we get somebody through the door to get the fans off the back a bit?
Aye, I think it was, like I say, they weren't imminent. Now I don't know whether this work permit thing kind of put a spanner in the works, but I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one. Emma, I don't know whether you know much about him. I was reading on social media in the last few days. Apparently, he's part of the same agency that looks after Abdullah Bar and all the French players. So, you know, is there a bit of a link there? And that's another reason why we're getting him.
Could be. I mean, I'm the same as Conrad. Never heard of the bloke until he come. But I think he's been like our 50th choice manager, because who wants to come to this club? The want a yes man. It's all down to Speakman, really. That's the only reason we're getting him, because all the others, sort of like the likes of Lampard, still all these that we've been rumoured with, they wouldn't bend over and say, yes, sir, I'll take it up the backside, sir. You know what I mean? Whereas to me, it seems like he's going to be one of them that is going to do that. He's a yes man, which is what they wanted. But at the end of the day, all we can do is give the bloke a chance. But I can't see him being here past Christmas.
It's a bit of an underwhelming one. And now, like Conrad just been saying there, he did get relegated last season, but I did a little bit of research for a video I did, and it's not quite as bad as we think it is. Yes, they did sell his best players, 60 million quid's worth. They didn't sack him when they got relegated, which they were going to keep him on. Apparently, we paid compensation for him. So, you know, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But Mike, what's your thoughts? You know, do you think he's going to be a success? Is it a case of, you know, we've got one of these unknown managers from a foreign country who might be one of these good up and coming young coaches?
Well, he's only unknown because for like on the last 3 years, he's been known as Reggie Labrie. Before that, he was clearly Chris Coleman. I'm sorry, the likeness is uncanny, and he just looks like he's had a haircut, got a bit of a skin treatment, got a tan, and he's come back with a bit of an accent. And I liked Chris Coleman, so I'm optimistic with that. But I'm the same. I quite like the idea of Lampard. Sorry, Conrad. But when it comes to the choices that were starting to roll out on the table after the whole Will Still, and even Will Still, I think we bigged him up more than he actually is, you know, qualified wise. Some of the names that are starting to appear, I was like, I'd rather have a good ex-footballer that the players will at least respect and learn something from. So I got to that stage where, you know, let's give Phillips a chance. Let's give Arca a chance, for God's sake. I don't care. But yeah, time will tell. I'm not going to say he's going to be gone by Christmas. I'm not as pessimistic as but I think we need to get behind him, give him a try, see how it goes. And it's all about whether he's got any input to signings, because apparently he's on about bringing his own coaching staff, right?
I think they're actually in talks with 3 of his coaches at the moment, but that can be the new catchphrase. So Phillies was up by Easter, Emma's has gone by Christmas. That'll be the one we can use for the channel. Gone by Christmas. Anybody in the chat, Em?
It just wouldn't surprise me with the fads. The fads will turn after a few games of it losing, you know. In the chat, so we've got Coffee Goblin. Hi guys, love the new strip. How do you get it without the sponsorship? Colin Major and Lasses. Sorry, Emma. I'll let you off, Colin. Jim Nesbitt saying hi, Wayne. Nice to see you on here. SJ Coleman has 6 kids. He demanded respect because of that. And Colin Major, don't know why, but he just reminds me of a cheese brand.
Regis Labrie, you know.
I can answer the sponsorship one. Just buy it, get a hot iron on the back, give it a peel. Usually they're not on very well when it comes to Sunderland kits.
Or if you get them from China, it'll just fall off by itself. So
I'll let you know how that goes. I'll let you know. I think tomorrow on the website there's going to be like options of you can have it with or without. I think is what it's going to be. I know on the kids ones, I saw did they have
Utilita.
Yes, that's it. They've got Utilita instead. So they've got that on them as well. So that'll be interesting because I got my little one from China as well. So I don't know if they're going to have like a shrunk down spread X version and it's going to be like the most obvious thing that I've turned down, just not invested.
Do you think it looks right without the sponsor? I mean, I know people like the clean shirt, but I feel like it's a part of the character of the shirt. If you get a retro shirt and it's got Vaux on or Vaux Samson or something, it's part of the character.
I kind of want, if I was going to get another one, which I don't know if I would, I kind of want to get one without a sponsor just to actually see the difference in the two of them. Do you know what I mean? Because I've never really had one apart from like international shirts where they don't just have anything. But someone on Twitter mocked up a picture of what it looks like without, and it just looks weird. Like having just complete, just like on your shirt there, Mike, you don't have anything in the middle of it. It just sort of
just the stomach
just carries on.
It looks like a Sunday morning football top. What you'd wear when you're playing Sunday morning football. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
You see, I quite like it without the sponsor. I think it looks a bit more classy because now we're going a bit more. I'm planning on it because now we've got retro with the stripes down the sleeve, the ships and the stripes. It's just like I think it looks more classy, and obviously from you might say it's a woman's perspective, but it's not. From sort of the gambling side, it's not tempting more people that maybe have problems with the gambling to do it. Do you know what I mean?
I think
if it's getting towards that, isn't it? Because there's a lot of the talk out there that gambling sponsorships are going to be taken off football strips anyway, and from whenever that might be. I think the Premier League are doing something about that. So it could be one of those. We're just going to move to it anyway. I know we have to keep, is it Spread X? We've still got them signed up for this season. So next season, we likely will have a new shirt sponsor in the middle. And I know there's always rumours about Vaux coming back on it. So
yeah, I mean, alcohol, that's much better than gambling. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. What's it going to be? Just smart water. That's all it's going to be. Jamie Oliver's 5 a day or something.
Peckham Spring, that's what it will be.
Yeah.
Well, just getting back to the manager. I mean, Emma's just been saying there, be gone by Christmas, which, when we were all expecting it maybe a bigger name. So when Michael Beale came in, he was under massive pressure from the outset, and if he didn't get after a good start, we saw what happened. So do you think Labrie is going to be under the same kind of pressure? If he comes in, loses the first couple of games, the fans turn on him because he wasn't who we expected or who we wanted. Getting back to Will Still, I think this guy's got a better record, actually win percentage, than Will Still's got anywhere. So, what's your thoughts on that, Conrad? Do you think, has he got to get off to a good start to stop the fans turning him straight away?
I mean, yes is the obvious answer, but I think he's got a little bit of time just because I think we're all accepting he's an unknown. We've just got to give him time to get his style in and go from there. I think we're more likely to turn on KLD and Speakman earlier if it doesn't work out, and it'll be fingers pointed at them and going, you acted out of desperation again and didn't consider everything and went through it. Like, fair enough, you made a decision on Will Still not coming in. Fair enough, you've made a decision on these other managers who we'd have in a heartbeat. But this is 2, 3, if you count Dodds, in a row now where you've really ballsed up on who this is. So, I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. And like you say, he actually, when he had his team, he had a better win percentage than Will Still anyway, and finished higher than him with a. So, yeah, what did I say?
Yeah, I'm saying that was a...
Oh, right, sorry. I thought you said Will Still even, and I was like, what did I say?
No, the first season, I think he finished one place above him, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously Will Still's team wasn't torn apart and sort of moved on, whereas his was. I don't know. I'd like to see that we give him at least, I'd like a win early on within the first game or two. But do you know what I mean? If it hasn't come by 5 or 6, then I think questions start to look up before they look at him.
Yeah. Aye, good point. Mike, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think he's got to get to a good start?
I think he'll have a lot more forgiveness from the fans if the signings are just as bad or not existent at all. I think every fan knows that we need some sort of experienced striker. If we get the players in and he has a terrible start, yeah, they're going to jump on his back, simple as. But if we start with the squad we've got minus all the ones that are rumoured to be going or offers coming in, if we lose Clark, Bellingham, Patterson, and then we start again without signing anyone prolific, then what can he do?
That's it. Emma, do you think it's a good idea or a positive sign that we potentially could be getting his backroom staff to come with him? And what do you think that means for Dodds and Co? Do you think they'll still keep the jobs, or do you think they'll be on the way out?
Will there be any room for Dodds if he's bringing his own backroom
There
staff?
shouldn't be.
But the thing is, to me, it's not going to make it the slightest bit difference what staff he brings with him. It really doesn't, because at the end of the day, it's speaking and pulling the strings, in my opinion. So I don't think it'll matter if he brings his own stuff or not.
Aye, speaking of, I mean, like you say, just because they've got the new fancy strip, and I'm still speaking out. I'm still in the speaking out camp. You know, just because we've getting the new strip and a new pitch, and God knows what new club shop chain isn't out for me. I just think we still need to.
But that's not even Speakman. That's that new chief business. Yeah, Tim, isn't it? And I mean, you've seen the videos today of the club shop and that, and him and KLD's in there. I mean, I know they're probably, obviously, it's a very orchestrated video, but even something like that is just showing, look, this is what I've done, and showing the ownership of it, rather than just, we've done this and we think it's right, like painting the Black Cat's bar. This is clearly someone who's gone, first thing we need to do is this club shop. We need to get that right for the fans and make it better. Let's do that first. And then hopefully the next project is a good success as well, like what the club shop looks to be.
Why? Let's see. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Speakman's had nothing to do with that. He's too busy destroying us.
I've got it for you. When we get the strips without the sponsor, and we just get Speakman out printed on them.
Obviously, that's a cracking idea. That
thousands.
Honestly, an absolute fortune, wouldn't you? Don't forget.
Yeah, pass them up. I'll lay them all on for you.
Don't forget to please hit that like button if you don't mind. Here we are. We do try to get 100 likes in the show. I don't know if anybody's keeping an eye on how many likes we've got at the moment.
We're on 13 likes. We've got 53 people watching at the moment. But obviously, nobody's used to us because we've not been here for a long time.
No, you're right there.
Make sure you're hitting like, guys, because it helps people join during the show as well.
It certainly does. So we'll move on, and I was touching the strips a little bit. It is good to see Hummel back. I think I think everybody's kind of over the moon that Hummel. Great memories of Hummel in the past. Gates and Gabby Deeney and them type of things. So, what's your thoughts on the new Hummel kit? You've seen it. What's your thoughts? Well, I love it. I think it's really, really nice. I think it's a really nice kit. So, Conrad, what's your thoughts on the new strip?
Big fan of it. Ordered it 2 weeks ago from China when I saw it, just on the off chance that it was going to be right. And you know what? It was right. So I think I might have seen the away one and what that's going to be. But yeah, I'm impressed. They've actually made a good strip for a change. I know it's Hummel's first one, but even then with the ownership before, they've signed off on some pretty shocking kits or just generic templates. So yeah, pleasantly surprised. We'll wait and see how it feels when it's on. Aye.
Emma, your thoughts on the new strip?
I'm absolutely in love. It's just like, it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm debating myself, do I sit at 8 o'clock in the morning all night to try and get one? Or do I go down to the club shop when I finish work, because they're open till 8 o'clock tomorrow night? But then I'm thinking, well, if I order it online, what size do I get? What's it going to look like? All these dilemmas that us women have, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's really nice for a change, because I mean, I've had people saying to us today that it's the nicest home kit that they've seen in a very, very long time. So I think it's kind of, in a way, KLD's way to try and get in the fans' good books by bringing Hummel back, by by giving with this like retro feel to the club to go back to the roots effectively, if that makes any sort of sense. So I'm thinking it's KLD's like big marketing PR campaign type thing.
Aye, I mean, this new bloke that's come in seems to have made a difference. Without a doubt, I mean, the move to move the shop into the ticket office is probably a good move. The video that came out today was quite professional. Looked the business. But I suppose, Mike, tomorrow morning is going to be the proof in the pudding of how things have moved on when the website doesn't crash. And I think that's what.
I was going to say, Ems is brave if she's going to wait till after work, because they might have 13 of each size in the shop and sold out in the first 10 minutes if anything goes by the records. But
this is the issue I've got, Mike. I don't know what way to play it. Because they generally sell out, you know what I mean?
Order one online in the morning, go after work and try it on. If it's the right size, then you can... There you go.
I was tempted to order 2 different ones online, you say, and send one back.
You're going to the shop. You're going to the shop tomorrow. They'll have 3 at like 9XL. That's what they'll have.
Do you remember when we used to announce our kit or let our kits be like the last game of the season for the season before? And people could pre-order them for the next season. So they would order the right bloody amount of kits in for fans to get and not just guess, we'll order 10,000, it's fine. Like, they knew from the pre-orders what they were going to get and then what they could realistically sell afterwards. So
that sounds too organised to me.
It does. I mean, I'd like to go back to that one that, like, season's over, but don't worry, here's next season's kit. Pre-order now, get it in June or something. Just
Can I say with these other kits, like Hummel, Admiral is another brand like that. Anyone who's done like any sort of amateur football knows all these different brands. You get more effort with it. You get more effort in the design and the quality and stuff like that, and they take more care. If you look at Nike and Adidas, they're rolling out the same kits for different clubs with slightly different embellishments. And it's almost like an off-the-rack design. So I'm glad, even if it's less money for the club sponsorship-wise, I'm glad we've got it, because it just feels like, I mean, the detail in the ships, when that originally got leaked, I was praying that was going to be on it. And as soon as they launched like these pictures and videos and I saw it, I was buzzing with that, because that's the detail you get. You get much more attention to detail with a company like Hummel.
You're talking about templates there. I'm pretty sure, I don't want to talk about them, but Newcastle's kit this year is the same as our one from the second year in League One. It's just black and white, but
I saw that
3
post.
stripes. And you're just like, it's exactly the same. It's just we had Adidas then, and they've got it now. Like,
and they've even got a red and white tracksuit. How bad's that?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's it.
Sure, I had that tracksuit, but with our badge on at one point. Like...
The thing is, though, with our new shirt, it's a custom design, effectively, and one thing I'm kind of pleased about, people will be saying, "Oh, you're mad." 60 quid. Considering last season's, that was just like a replica, like what Mike just said, just one picked off the shelf. It's a £5 or more for a bit more of a custom design. So I'm not too bothered about paying an extra £5, effectively.
I think 60 quid's not too bad. I think if you look at the new England strip, they're like £100 or something, aren't they? Just absolutely crazy. And like you say, like Mike's been saying, it's bespoke. There's no other club going to have a strip like ours. So,
and if we maintain that sponsorship, hopefully that rolls season upon season. You know what I mean? So every season it's something completely different. You know,
I think, was it a 4-year deal we've got with Hummel?
I think so.
I think I read, yeah. Because I noticed they finished up with Everton as well this season. I want to think the admin sort of said, put something out about how all their kits. And
farewell.
I was watching it back and I was like, they had some lovely kits actually for 4 years, Everton, when you actually looked at it. So I'm hopeful this is a good sort of period for us of our kits as well. I think that the away one's going to be a bit of a Marmite sort of one. I know it's meant to be a play on the 92 away white one. But I think it's going to be one of those where some people are going to absolutely love it, and some of them are going to be like, "No, it's not quite what we wanted."
Doesn't want to be too different.
No, we all think it's that one where it's like the blue is like most of this bit here, and then the white is like this side, like with that sort of chevron.
That's what was leaked originally, but Coffee Goblins put in the comments, heard that the away strip is different from the Chinese mock-ups. And obviously they'd have built them mock-ups based on them leaks. So I don't know.
Well, it's because it'll be made there as well. They'll have had it months ago.
Yeah.
The home strip that was leaked pretty much the same, isn't it?
Yeah, the home strip's been bang on. So, and you remember the mock-up where the home shirt was on there, and you could only see like the peak of the away one, sort of just like that. It matched up as well. So I think it's going to be closer to the mock-ups than we think further away. I'd like them just to release the 92 one again and just go, there you go, new material. Yeah, have that again.
Yeah. So we've got 53 people watching. Emma, anybody new in the comments?
Yeah, Coffee Goblin said they'd prefer to have Vokes on it. We've got SJ, they had 4 months to get the manager. So they should rightly get stick if it goes wrong. It's more than enough time to get it right. It's incompetence otherwise. Jim Nesbitt, he believes Will Still had agreed to take the job, then went to Lens for more money. He thinks that he was using us to raise profile all along. Coffee Goblin Conrad said, heard the away is different than the Chinese mock-ups.
Is there an echo in here?
Then Sprock has actually said, I've been to the club's opening night and the new shirt is quality. What were the sizes like, Spock? Tell me about that one.
Chat.
He took a tape measure with him. Yeah, it's all right.
No, like if he's tried them on, what's the size of them like, if the quality, are they worth it, what they like without the sponsors on, did they have many in stock? Give all this goes, Harry. We need to know.
It was just an AI video. They've got 10. That's it. They only made 10.
Superimposed in the background. Yeah. First come, first served. I think Colin Major's trying to make us cry here. I've seen the comments.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't want to read that out because I didn't want to get upset.
Sent me a bit of a wobble there when I read it, but never mind.
So Colin Major said, I think you all should get on the front of the strips is see you later, lads and lasses, as a tribute to the one and only Jack.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
I did think, because Jack had that, what was it, the old Sunderland shirt with Nunes 31 on the back of it. And there was a part of me that this year wanted to get Nunes 31 on the back of my shirt just for what Jack would have done as well. Just for Milton Nunes and for Jack as well. I just thought that'd be something just, because I'm like, what's this? And it's just like, it's a little inside joke for us all.
Aye, sadly missed.
Sprock has come back on the size and same size as last season. Loads of stock. Stitch on badge.
Oh, that's good. Stitch on badge. Result.
It's not going to come off after a couple of washes.
Well, Conrad's mate.
I'll tell you.
He's got the iron-on version.
When it comes, right, it's going to be almost identical to the other ones as well. And we'll do it like a side-by-side video. One of you lend me your ones and I'll just go, look, the exact same, 60 quid, 7 quid.
Yeah, it'll look the same. It'll just look like we're in HD and you're in,
They'll be spot on.
We'll do the same review in 6 months' time and see what's in the better condition. And yours like badges peeling off and.
Hey, I've had strips from Sunderland that have done that anyway. The old Adidas one when they put the sponsor over the top, that just dropped to bits.
The Newcastle template. Yeah.
My home one last year was from China, and like all the letterings all off it now. It's off pretty much. So it's lasted the season, which is pretty much what you want anyway, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every year, so.
I've had them the last years and years and years, man, so I can still wear them.
They're built to last like one game for the kit man to wash it for them to get another one and go from there, aren't they?
The thing is with the quality, I mean, I've got the playoff final one, the gold one in the wardrobe, and it still looks like brand new.
Yeah. I want them to remake that one. Like that needs to be a retro one they need to remake. Because
quality, that was the quality. It's thick, it's heavy, it's brought onto the shop. I mean, until we've actually seen it open, but the pictures for the new shop, it looks impressive, it looks big, and it looks like it's just been sitting there well stocked. So do you think it was a good idea moving it from where it was into the ticket office? And do you think it's a good option having the ticket office now in the club?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I like the little touch of lads, lasses and bairns for the sort of areas and that. Yeah, I always thought, I mean, it felt right because it was our stadium where the club shop was, but it does feel better that it's like its own thing over there now, and considering that it's in the car park, really, it sort of feels like it's a bit of a better thing for when people are going to see it and come in. Like most people will come in and spot it for a mile off, and even then they don't have to then probably open the stadium to be in the club shop bit if that's what they were on about before, when they can't have it open because of X, Y, or Z. So it just feels like they've got their own separate building for it for that. No, I think it's good. Hopefully it's not a bit of a shit show tomorrow with the sale. I think it's a bit of a weird one. They've opened it up for day one of a kit launch rather than doing here's an opening of stuff, and then the kit a bit later on. So yeah.
But I suppose having it there, on a match day when everybody's walking into the stadium, it's going to be the first place to go. So I suppose from a commercial point of view, it makes sense because everybody
it's bigger. It's got to be at least twice as big in there. I don't know if they said they'd gone upstairs with it or anything. Probably stock upstairs, but it's got to be twice as big a floor space as in the other one.
Probably have the same amount of staff, but never mind. Yeah. Probably still 2 people. Mike, what's your thoughts on the shop? Do you think it's impressive? Or do you think it's a good move?
Looks good. I'm liking the fact we're getting investment around the club. I believe they did work on the pitch as well as the club shop. And let's just hope that same sort of investment rolls out into the team as well. The club shop, I'm eager to get up there and see it. So when I do my walk, it'll end at the Stadium of Light, so I'll go in the shop then.
Yes, if you want to promote your walk, feel free to let us know what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got plans and I'll get a link up and stuff at some point. But yeah, I'm walking from Burnley, where I'm living at the moment, to the Stadium of Light over 4 days, doing it for the British Heart Foundation in the name of Jack for the charity. That's what the charity his family supports. So raising as much as I can for that. Probably going to crawl into the stadium at the end of it, and hopefully somebody's waiting there with a cold pint.
Are you going to try and time it for a match on a Saturday so you can watch the match as well?
I thought about it, but by the time the fixtures got released and with work and stuff, I had to book it off. So there's not going to be a match. I'm just going to crawl into the shop and buy a souvenir. But
if someone's there to give you a lift home,
I'm hoping that I can arrange with the club because there's no match on, to finish the walk on the grass. So I'm hoping to do that, which should be good. So they wouldn't have let me do that on a match day anyway. So that'd be nice.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll keep on promoting. Like I say, we'll put the links out on the channels, and we'll get some sponsorships and get some donations in for that. So, cheers. Great cause. Emma, what's your thoughts on the shop? I know you probably haven't seen much of it, but is it a good move? Do you think that they've put it where it is?
I think it's great for the car park inside of it. Yeah, I really do. I mean, if I'm quite honest, and I'm going to be quite frank, I think it makes absolute sense because what use was the ticket office there anyway? Do you know what I mean? It was closed most of the time to start with. You can never get through to anybody on the phone. So it makes sense to use a bigger building for the club shop. And like you were saying, Wayne, it's as soon as you hit the stadium, you see it, as whereas when you had to get to it, you had to walk around the other side. So I think it is a good move. And I'm actually looking forward to going inside to actually see how big it is and to see whether they've got more stuff in. But I would potentially like to see more than just the one shop at the stadium, like what we used to have years ago.
Like little boutique ones scattered around as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they used to have them in the Metro Centre years ago. They used to have them in, was it Debenhams? In the Bridges as well.
Yeah.
So there was a few different places where people could go. So people that lived like, I don't know, Durham Way and stuff like that, they'd not necessarily have to travel all the way to Sunderland. They could go to Metro Centre where it's a bit closer for them, and it saves them that bit money as well.
It's not cost effective anymore because of all these people buying Chinese kits.
That person above you, Mike.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
He said there's a no comment there from Conrad. He just went, no comment. Just wants to prove you wrong when he comes in. It's top notch quality from China. That's what he wants.
You'll be laughing in my faces.
Will I? When we paid like 60 quid plus probably a tenner delivery fee, and where it'll be.
I'll try not to gloat. I'll just pull a face. I'll pull a face similar to Mike when Beale got sacked and he went live and just went, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just sitting here.
I'm keen to order in the morning to see the process because I ordered stuff in that sale that we had before and didn't get a confirmation email. Didn't get anything to say it had gone through. The only reason I knew I paid was because it was on my bank statement. No delivery dates or anything like that. And then it's the day it turned up, I got £10 into my account from SAFC, and I had a look. And when the delivery came through, I opened it, and one of the things that I ordered for £10 wasn't in it. They didn't tell me nothing. No apologies, no nothing. So I'm hoping with the change round, it runs a lot better.
I mean, I'm tempted to try tomorrow and get, like I said, the goalie one, if that's on sale as well. Just because I think it looks good. And I've always liked the idea of a goalie shirt that's short sleeved. So if it's a short sleeve and like that, I'm just going to give it a go. I think it looks lovely.
I think that must be Patterson, because Patterson always cuts the sleeves of his top for some reason. So they must have
but
thought,
like Pickford was like
that
that as well, didn't he? He always had short sleeved shirts, and a lot of goalies tend to do it now, I think.
It must be all tough.
I remember back in the day when I used to get the kits that were like Thomas Sorenson's one. They had like padding in the elbows and all sort of like big
motorbike
bits
suits.
in them. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember them. Yeah, the short sleeve thing is probably because they play for us, and keepers get a bit cold. That's why they've got the long sleeves. But none of our keepers are ever bored, right?
Correct.
They can always wear the Under Armour stuff, can't they?
70 people watching. Thank you very much for everybody joining. Mike likes our at the minute.
34 according to mine.
Good stuff. So keep on hitting that like button if you don't mind. So the fixtures then. The fixtures are out. Our old enemy, if you like, Cardiff, our bogey team, not the kind of the way we want to start the season, but tough month. Do you think to open Cardiff away? We've got Sheffield Wednesday at home, Burnley at home, and then Portsmouth away. So what's your thoughts, Emma, on that start? Tough start, or do you think it's not too bad?
It's a kind of few miles for the first 4 games for those that travel the length of the country. I mean, when Conrad said that the Cardiff ones be moved to 12:30 kick-off, didn't surprise us. Expected it.
I think they're all 12:30 on that Saturday. I think they've all been moved to 12:30.
Right.
It's that new Sky Plus thing on that new, because they're all shown.
They show them all on the Sky buttons, right? I'm with you.
Yeah, it's something that you would have expected for the Cardiff game last season. I'm sure it was last season. It was 12:30 kick-off as well. I mean, I'm very, very surprised about the Sheffield game, to be fair, on the date more than anything. Because obviously I messaged you guys when I had seen them up the roads fixtures come out, and I was like, well, chances are we're going to be at home first game then, because they're at home for their first game, which is the same day. They kick off the same day our first home game is, so I'm very surprised at that one, if I'm quite honest. But
maybe they'll move them to Sunday or Monday night if they haven't done the Premier League ones.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose it depends what the next couple of weeks bring in terms of people coming in, people going out, to see what sort of start we're going to have. It's just, I think it's a lot of miles for the players and the fans for the first few games.
You mentioning miles. Someone, I think the club tweeted out just the 2,660 miles to travel in our first 2 months of fixtures.
That's shocking, that, and I mean, surely when they count these fixtures, I mean, I know we're quite far north compared to the rest of the teams, but that there is absolutely scandalous.
Well, have you seen
within the first few as well, isn't it?
So it's Cardiff. You've got the 3 longest away trips are our first 3 away trips. You've got Cardiff, then Portsmouth and Plymouth. Portsmouth followed by Plymouth. And then Borough and then Watford. Yeah. So
after that, it's just I don't know. Doesn't make sense. I mean,
but even then, it goes London for Luton, and then home game, and then QPR back to London. Then you're going over to sort of Manchester way for Preston, and then you're back to London again.
Well, we've got Preston before that, though, haven't we? In the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Jacob's going to be happy.
Yeah. I mean, we beat Cardiff 2-0 at the end of last season, didn't we? It was like Mike Dodd's sort of like only redeeming game towards the end of the season, which was the one that sort of cemented our status in the league, as it were, by the end. And then I like the idea that we've got a nice time to sort of try and get a bit of revenge on Sheffield Wednesday now that they're not playing for survival. This will be them trying to sort of branch out and improve under Danny Roll. But I I don't know. It just feels like we've got a tough start. And I know you play everybody twice, but the fact that Burnley are your second home game as well, with them coming back down, and then you've, like you say, Sheffield Wednesday, who are in a similar position to us, but probably had a more championship experienced manager at the time. Portsmouth, you never want to play a newly promoted side in your first 6 games anyway, and we've got
Correct,
them.
yeah.
The only saving grace is it's Wayne Rooney's Plymouth at this moment, so probably 3 points that one.
Probably 3 points.
And then the
Surprised he
Middlesbrough
wasn't
game.
in football.
I know. And then the Middlesbrough game, as long as we don't get a ref who sends them off just for swearing, then you might be all right.
I think it's a tough start. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday, they're on a high from last season. They've got a good manager. I don't know what signings they've made, but he'd have been one manager that I would have identified to try and get. But Mike, what you said
it was. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, go on, man.
I think they did. He was rumoured to be sort of one we looked at, but I think he was in a really long deal that it was going to cost us between 2 and 4 mil to get him out, and at just that point, we weren't going to pay money for anybody. I mean, we've probably paid absolute peanuts for this guy from Lorient. So,
well, that's it. Not have been much, will it?
No.
They'll probably give him a new.
If they weren't going to pay for Still and his backroom staff, and they weren't going to pay for anyone's transfers, and they weren't going to pay for him, why would they pay for this guy to get him out and his staff unless it was minimal?
They've probably given him a bottle of wine and a piece
and
of brie.
Big wheel of brie, yeah.
Wheel of brie, aye. It's the compensation, isn't it? Mike, thoughts on the fixtures? Do you think it's a decent start for them or tough?
Yeah, I mean, I get the issues with travel at the start of the season, sort of thing, but you know, it is what it is when these certain teams are in the same league. Cardiff, again, I've said it many times, we're cursed against Welsh teams. So hopefully that 2-0 broke that curse. But yeah, I see that one as a challenge to begin with. We've got Preston in the cup, right? So I'm hoping to get a ticket for that because it's just over there.
I hope not, because we do the live streams, you know, and you're leaving me on my own for that one.
I'll still do the live stream. It'll just be
well, it'll be the same when we borrow Emma's ticket. One of us will have to stay and do the live stream, and the other one will go to the game.
We need another friend.
Yeah.
Live stream from the game, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
it'd be all right. There can't be any rules against that, surely. So Sheffield Wednesday, I think, is 3 points. Burnley's going to be the biggest challenge, I think, out of them first few fixtures for me. Them coming down. It depends how they do. I mean, I've not really looked at how many players. I've not looked how many players they've lost or anything like that. So
how would that happen?
But again, we don't know how many players we're going to lose either. One of the comments in before was SJ said, for the amount of clubs that want our players for big money, it beggars belief that we never made the playoffs last season. We clearly underachieved. Dodge should never manage this club again. If we hold on to them players, we should be challenging easily. And I don't want this same pessimistic going in 3-1 every game.
It probably did us a bit of a favour actually that all of our players had a bit of an off season and were out of form for so long that it might have put some people off or made them think about looking elsewhere. Also, the fact that they're like, actually, they weren't that good. We'll try and cut them down. And our ownership is going, nope, ridiculous money still with sell-on percentages and stuff like that. That's putting people off a little bit.
Hope so. I mean, we'll move on. Might as well move on to transfers now. I mean, some of the money what's been banded about for Job, 30 million from Crystal Palace and 25 where it wasn't, and Jack Clark, Wolves being quoted 30 million. I'm pleased that the club are making a stand to try and if somebody offers 30 million for Job, I'll drive him down there myself because he's not worth that. And if
I'd drive him down there for £1 and a Twix.
He's the only player. And I like him, but he's the only player who gets better when he's not playing. And his value increases while he's not playing because everyone seems to go, did you see what Jude did for Real Madrid? And we go, that's an extra 500k on his brother's price tag. Just all we do is we show videos of his brother and go, see, could be him. That's all we have to do. But he was all right. He was mismanaged, I think, from the second half of the season. No one knew where to play him and no one would give him a rest, and it seemed like he had no direction on where to go. I remember that was at the Plymouth game. when he came off the bench, he looked so good just coming off the bench and just being like, look at what we've got here. Start of the season, he looked really good for us as well, just behind the striker, but it never really worked out because we didn't have a striker for him to play behind most of the season. I think 30 mil is a bit of a piss take, but if someone's willing to pay it, that's great. I think they're probably looking at it in terms of it's not just what we want for the player, it's what us being without him will cost us in the long run. A bit like when do you remember when West Ham wanted Defoe off of us in our relegation season and they bid 4 mil and we said 100?
Yeah.
Because we were gonna get relegated without him and it cost us 100 million. So that's what he's worth to us.
Fair point, aye. But I mean, I don't know. Is it a worrying sign for transfers, Mike? You know, we've signed nobody, and obviously Alex Bass has got. We've signed a goalkeeper. We've signed
Simon Moore. Simon Moore, whose most played season was 2021-2022, where he had 41 games and only conceded 54 goals in them 41 games.
Not bad, is it?
I know he's a keeper, but how old is he, Mike?
He's young for a keeper. He's 34.
34.
34 is young.
Why do we want a 34-year-old keeper when we've got bloody...
He's the same age as me.
Right,
when we've got Pato, who was younger. You know what I mean?
We changed the model.
Yeah, it's experience and pushing him.
Where we said at the end of last season, when we were talking about this, we said that we need an experienced keeper to push him. I'm not sure this is what I meant by experience.
I was going to say, I don't think a 34-year-old...
Can I throw a counterpoint in?
I meant not shit.
Yeah. Sorry, can I throw a counterpoint in? When we had Ben Anik and we were like, he's the one, he's going to be all the way forward for us, and we brought in Darren Ward as a backup for him just to try and push him, and Darren Ward was actually better than him, and eventually took the shirt off him and just went, I'm actually doing this better than you are. I'm not saying that could happen to Patterson, but I prefer a championship keeper with experience of this league than someone who shouldn't be playing in League 1 or 2 on the bench as a backup, trying to make this guy better.
Yeah, but I'd rather have somebody that's had his time at the top level and he's done really well, and now he's come down and he's passing on that knowledge. I mean, Simon Moore's just going to teach him how to pick the ball out the back of his net professionally.
But he played in the Premier League. He's played 2 games for Sheffield United in the Premier League.
Excellent. That's it. Yeah. Sold.
Well, don't think we got Alex. Was it Bass or Bishop from Man United? And he never actually played for Man United. It was just he was there. And
he was shot in mind. He played 2 games that season. He was shite. And
was it Bass who played the final game of the season?
Was Bishop?
Was it Bishop? Was it? And it's just we were watching it, Mike, and doing and we were just like, I think Patterson saves both these goals. Really? Like I don't understand why they sort of tried this really. And I mean, I think he's got experience and he's played rather than this guy's never played, but everyone thinks he's all right. And then when we told him in, he went, actually, he's not.
Because he's from Man United, he must be good.
Yeah.
Let's be fair, we've still got Speakman pulling the strings on this, and he was free.
Oh, yeah, he was free, yeah. But that's the same with all our players above the age of 25. If they're free, that's when we get them.
Well, that just shows that because we didn't have a manager when we signed them. So it just shows you it was doing the recruitment. But I think this time last year, I think we'd signed 3 or 4 players, hadn't we? So, and I think they're back in pre-season now. They're back in pre-season in 2 weeks, aren't they? So,
something like that.
Things have now got to start moving forward, I think, aren't they?
Yeah. In the comments, somebody's mentioned Aaron Ramsdale said Moore was brilliant for him.
Is that when they were at Sheffield United, I assume?
Yeah.
Must have been, right?
Yeah. Well, you never know. Martin Fulop was the ideal number 2. Like he was never quite number 1, but what a keeper he was! Dependable every time you called on him.
Well, didn't Manone used to play for Reggie?
Yes, he did. I read. Yes, he did.
Vito.
Oh, Vito. That's where he got it from.
So we might get Vito back. You never know.
It just makes me wonder, though, with bringing him in, is the potential for Pato to be going?
Well, that was going to be my next thing. I mean, we're not guaranteed he's going to be in next season. I think Southampton. Is it Southampton been looking at him?
Talking 30 million, haven't they?
So you know,
we fleeced him once for a guy who hasn't played for him, so we can try again.
Why not?
Although he came on and got a deflected shot against West Brom in the playoff semi-final, and we were like, worth 10 mil.
I think it's worrying signs about the lack of signings, and we've been dealing with a manager situation. But
like you said, to your point just before, like it's clear who's making the signings. We brought a keeper in without a manager. But where's the rest of our signings? Like you said, we made 3 or 4 this time last season. So they must sort of have some sort of thing in where they're like, we're not going to properly bring everyone in until we've at least ran them by this Labrie, or sort of gone, here's the 4 options for centre midfielders. What's your say on it rather than our say?
I think you're giving them way too much credit. I think they're waiting to see who everyone else doesn't want.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll have what's left.
Who's free? Who can we get on loan from Chelsea?
As long as they don't go in and panic towards the end of the deadline. Do you know what I mean? Because if the panic, that's when we're bringing the shite, basically.
But it makes a cracking deadline day show, so I like a bit of panic.
You went to one stand down there freezing your tits off down there.
I know, Mike.
So we'll get you a warmer jacket this year, Wayne. It's fine.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much.
We'll do it in August when it's warm and light still.
Just to be an easy show. We've signed nobody. Good night. That's it. Done.
Should just take some deck chairs out next time, just for a right laugh. Just for that. I'm just going to sit here.
I'm just going to get a cardboard cutout. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're done with. But I'm like to wait and see. I mean, I didn't know. I just hope that the signing of Bishop of Moore is a sign that we are willing to bend on the model. And also a positive sign if we are in discussion with his backroom staff. So I suppose there's a few little positive signs there if it happens, but I don't know. I'm just a bit worried that we're going to end up going into the season weaker than what we were last season, which was then weaker than what we were the season before. So I don't know. I mean, do you think we're going to change the model? Do you think they are going to change the model? They have to, I think.
I think the amount of pushback they'll have had off potential managers when they've tried to pitch them this model should tell them something. That should have set alarm bells off when you've got experienced pros saying, well, no, I need to do this. No, you need this, you need that. And if they don't take any of that on board, as much as I love to blame Speakman, KLD's got a big hand in this responsibility because he should see the failings of Speakman.
Aye, it's a good point, actually. You know, this is last chance saloon for the two of them, for me. I mean, you know, I still haven't won me over, so we'll have to just wait and see how this new guy does. But
what's that Simpsons meme where he goes to he's looking for the kids who are playing who are, what you call it, skiving off school, and he goes to this old treehouse and he goes, is it me that's out of touch? He goes, no, it's everybody else. That's what it feels like with our ownership when they get questioned on it. They're like, am I wrong? And they look at themselves and go, no, it must be 48,000 people. They're all wrong.
Aye. Well, anybody else got anything to talk about?
Just
the rumours, like I say, is Clark, Job, and Patterson. Has anyone heard anything else? Because, I mean, if we lose them 3, we have to buy, right? We can't sustain without that, surely.
Did Southampton ever come back in for Roberts? Because do you remember how close he nearly went to go in as well last season? And it turns out that he pretty much did go because he never did anything following that game either.
Well, he didn't, did he? He was shotgun back into the season. But I do think Clark potentially will leave.
There was always the rumour of Rusin going back, but he seems to still be here at the moment and not sort of going back. And then,
what about Ballard? Was there not a rumour of him?
Yeah, was it Fulham and just I don't know. I think maybe it'll be when teams all get back to pre-season, it'll start to pick up, and when the Euros is over, they'll start to assess what options. I mean, Hume was touted for, was it Leeds as well? I wanted to say earlier on.
Leicester as well.
That's it, Leicester. The new began with L. Yeah, but they're in trouble, Leicester, though, because they can't buy anyone because of financial rules, and they've already had points docked from them at the start of their Premier League season, haven't they? So you don't want to be going there. You're pretty much agreeing to come straight back. Aye.
I mean, Pixel Rich has put a good comment there. He says, "When I agree with, we couldn't be weak. However, stadium revamp, new shop, new pitch, enhances the business of SAFC. Is that a sign of us going back up for sale?"
Hope so. I hope you're right there, Pixel Rich. I really do. Because things can only get better. I hate to say that quote after previous elections, but you know. Coffee Goblin also said, would Ross Stewart on loan be worth a try? That'd be ironic if he came back and just became a goal machine again. They'd be fuming.
Do you think might not be a bad shout, actually? I mean, will we have him back?
I don't know. He'd probably get injured, wouldn't he?
Probably would, I.
But yeah, and then we have him for another season. Like, you can have that back. Injured all the way.
Well, I mean, for buying players, the players that we've been linked with, the little snippets they've been, they don't really excite me. They're all young lads again, aren't they? So there's been no experienced players mentioned, or players with championship experience. What we need, it's all about players being leaving.
Josh Bell says in the comment, sorry.
I don't go on.
Josh Bell says in the comments, it's best when there's no rumours. Pembele and Oshish were complete surprises and two great players with high ceilings. So there's the positive spin on it.
I'm still not convinced by them two either. And that was only the first season with them, but I don't know. Pembele, half decent. Oshish showed flashes. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this manager can get the best out of them.
Jacob really liked Ashish, and I don't know. We watched him a few times, Mike, towards the end, and I never got it. I'm hopeful. Do you know what I mean? I'm hopeful there's a player in there, but I just don't get it. I mean, the big one for me is I really hope we can keep Chris Rigg and Dan Neil is the big two that I want
to see. Now we've got the manager.
Yeah, I think one of his players that he sold was some sort of it was like a box-to-box sort of combative midfielder. And I think in Dan Neil, he's got that. And then he's got Chris Rigg, who could potentially be that and better and a bit more utility across the middle. And those are the two that I think we need to be trying to build this team around. And I keep hearing rumours, all sorts of Riggs going, no, he's not, yes, he is. No, that's the big bit of news that I want. I'm resigned to losing Clark. I'm resigned to Bellingham probably having one more year at max, even if he does well.
Not.
I think he's all right, mate.
He's lazy.
He was just mismanaged, and we can't even say that's not true because it was Proctor, Dodds, and Beale for half of it. So, was he a Mowbray signing? Probably not, but I think if we bought him for $3 million, he had a year where he did what he did, and we're going to sell him for a massive profit. You can't really say he's been a bad player for us. He's just been a transitional player for us.
Just been a fill-in, haven't we? I mean, Coffee Goblin says new managers worked with Oshish before. I didn't know that.
Well, was that not what you were saying before, Wayne, that he's linked with the same agency and things like that?
Aye, so he's got the same agency as Abdullah Bar and I think Pembele and all them. So whether he knows them already,
and he speaks French, which half our team do. So that'd probably help.
Bonus.
Yeah.
Bonus. Them haven't got the language barrier, then have we?
Yeah. And also, Mike, it's a good comment here. Job's 17 or 18. Like, he's a young kid. He's just starting out in football.
Exactly. He should have a lot more energy than I've got at 40, No, do you know what it is? I get his age, right? That's fair enough. And I get he was mismanaged. We've had some absolute terrible people in that seat, I won't say the names. I won't swear. But it's because he showed that glimpses of brilliance and because he showed like in the first few games that he did well. And it's when players don't make the effort, when you see him like, oh, he could have got to that, but he didn't even try. That's what frustrates me at any age. And you can't say about his age because when you look at Rigg and the effort that lad puts in for every single ball, for every single battle, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Do you not think with Job, though, it's more just the name? People are expecting him to be more than what he is because of his brother.
Oh, you might have a point there. I think there's a lot of weight on his shoulders because he's a Bellingham. But, I've seen it in the past, Gabbiadini's was the same. Marco was class, Ricardo was shocking. So, I don't know. He's still got time to develop, but for me, 30 million quid, crazy money. Crazy money. You can't turn that sort of money down if that's a bid going to come in.
No.
As long as we take 30 from him, exactly, we'll put it back into the club. Will they then buy players worth 30 million to bring us up?
Well, it'll probably be, if we sell Bellingham, the contract will be that they take Dodds and Proctor and all, because they're all linked with Birmingham. They're all together, isn't they? So wherever Bellingham goes, they might even tax Speakman as well.
I think if we get good money for Bellingham, then it's not been a bad deal. And like you say, it's one of those that was like, yeah, he did so many bright sparks. You wish it would have carried on, but for his age and how he was managed, we got what we got out of him, and we all thought probably could have been a bit more.
Aye.
Actually, one player we haven't mentioned, who Mike, you absolutely loved and probably going to start this season, was Mundell.
Love him. Awesome.
I sort of forget that we have him, but he's like a really good raw sort of talent of a player, and he was playing at, I want to say, was it Standard Liège when we got him? Yeah. So maybe Lebris had seen him previously. Yeah, and we actually give him a bit of time, because there was times we were just sitting there screaming for him to come on, just to be like, just give him a go. Because Clark had 6 months with us in League One, and I'll be honest, I thought, what is this? And then he tore the roof off the next 2 seasons.
But the good thing is we're having a new manager that, he's going to come in with a fresh approach, and not like Dodge just play the same old players, play the same formation, the same players week in, week out, whether they're playing well or not. So everybody starts with a clean slate, I suppose. Anyway, that was up. So 70 people watching. Mike, what likes do we finish up on?
104.
Fill for time. Quick, refresh. 47. So 69 people, 47 likes. Some of you are 69. Not doing your job. All right.
Press the button. Anyway, that's all we've got time for. If something does happen, if we do some transfer business in the next week or so, I'm sure we'll be jumping on and doing some more shows. But in the meantime, Conrad, do you want to say your bye-byes?
Bye-byes.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. I do that for Mike as well. He hates it.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a lot more shows coming. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if you're interested in getting involved with the channel, get in touch with us. I would love to have you on board.
Well said. And last but not least, Emma.
Yeah, good luck tomorrow if you're trying to pay the top. We'll see how the club's going to run this season, shall we? But take care. We'll all speak soon.
Mike?
Watch for a short coming on the channel of my buying experience after tomorrow.
Yeah, short, that's just says shit show.
Because you sat there 8 hours going, come on, you bastard.
Right, thanks for watching. Like I say, watch out for the shows that'll be coming out over the next weeks. But until the next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.